Go ahead and start recording for the people that aren't able to make it. I did have a couple that were traveling. So anyway, I was going to have this like super fancy PowerPoint for you guys tonight, but I don't like PowerPoints. I don't like sitting through them. So I thought, why would I subject other people to that? So I'm just going to sit here and talk to you guys. So I hope you don't mind my messy office in the background. We just moved. And this is the last room that's getting any attention. So I apologize for that. But I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to do my best to keep my chatter down to 30 minutes and then give you guys plenty of time to ask questions at the end. So I've blocked off an hour. Sometimes it goes that long, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, so my name is Shaina Anderson. I am, I'm just a regular old mom. I'm a mom of two, soon to be three. I'm about 13 weeks pregnant with our third right now, but I've got a 3.5-year-old and a 17-month-old at home. So we are a little crazy over here. My husband is currently in the fire academy, so not super helpful when it comes to carrying the load as far as parenting stuff. But I tell you guys that because I want you to know that this is 100% doable no matter what your schedule looks like. I mean, I'm pretty much single mom these days, and I'm going to be because he's going to Afghanistan for a year, but you can still fit it in if it's something that you really want to do. But I have been a coach for about 17 months. I signed up when I was 39 weeks pregnant with my second child. I am currently a Star Diamond coach, which doesn't mean anything to you right now, but hopefully it will by the end of this. And our team is actually in the top, like, I don't know, probably 0.25% if I had to do some quick math of the entire company. There are about 400,000 coaches in the network right now. Not all of them actively working their business, but a good chunk of them are actively working their business. And our team is ranked in the top 700 right now. My goal is for us to finish out the year at somewhere in the top 50. So we are doing big things on our team this year, and it's really exciting. And, you know, we're getting a lot of people involved because so many people, especially moms out there, are really kind of losing themselves. And health and fitness is such a fantastic way to really get back to feeling good and being a better mom and being a better wife and just being able to juggle all of that crazy stuff that life has to offer. So a little bit about how I got started as a coach. I used to be in the Navy, and then after the Navy, I worked for Lululemon for a little while just because they were in town when I moved to Annapolis to live with my then fiance, now husband. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. I mean, I was doing corporate interviews with consulting companies and stuff like that, and then just ended up having a ton of fun with Lululemon. I got a job there just for the discount. But I stayed for a while. I was with them for about 3 years while we moved around because my husband was still in the Navy. I got certified as a personal trainer, but not so that I could go to a gym and work. It was more for my own education because I was kind of on my own health and fitness journey. I was in a really unhealthy place when I met my husband. I was about, well, I would say 50 pounds heavier, but I've gained a little weight since getting pregnant. I'd say about 40 pounds heavier than I am right now. And just, you know, all of a sudden was dating this athlete. I was like, why is he dating me? You know, we have nothing in common. I'm not working out. I'm way overweight, you know, but he did. So, you know, he inspired me. You know, when you're around people like that, you get inspired. So he inspired me to start exercising and eating healthier. And, you know, 40 pounds later, a bunch of friends and family were asking me questions. So I got certified just because I wanted to be able to answer their questions with some sort of credibility and know what I was talking about. So I did do some private training sessions for friends and other military wives here and there, but I never worked in a gym. I've never run my own business before. I don't have a business degree. So I don't want you to think that any of that is a requirement to be a coach. So after that, I just had this newfound love of health and fitness. And so it was just something that I was always passionate about and sharing and posting online about what I was cooking or, you know, what workout I was doing or whatever. So Once our son was born, I decided that I wasn't going to work anymore, and I stayed home with him. And when he was about 15 or 16 months old, I had a girlfriend who was a Beachbody coach, and she reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I just started my Beachbody coaching business. I would love for you to join my first challenge group," which I'll tell you guys what that is in a few minutes. I would love to have your energy in there because you're kind of already doing what a coach does. And I was like, "Oh, sure. I'm always looking for quick at-home workouts that I can sneak in while he's napping or playing or whatever instead of schlepping him to the gym." So I ordered Brazil butt lift because I saw these infomercials about how the Victoria's Secret supermodels use Brazil butt lift to get ready for the, the fashion show. So I decided to get it, and it was awesome. I totally started seeing results in like 2 weeks, and I couldn't believe it. So I finished out that program. She tried to get me to start drinking Shakeology. She's like, "Oh, you should, you're making all these crazy smoothies. Why don't you just buy Shakeology instead?" And I was like, I'm not drinking your shakes. I buy the whole superfoods aisle at Whole Foods. Anything I'm making is way better than what you have to offer. And, whatever. I was like, "No, thank you." And she said, "Okay, well, I think you should look more into the coaching opportunity." So I humored her because I felt bad about continuing to say no about all this stuff. So we had a 3-way conversation with her mentor in the business who vomited Beachbody all over me because she was just so excited and had no idea what she was doing yet. Funny story. She's actually now my mentor. But so I was super turned off. And I was like, "You're crazy. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing sales. I'm not doing network marketing. Don't get me wrapped up in your pyramid scheme. Go away." So I turned him down. I left the challenge group. I was just turned off by the whole experience. Jessie, who was the girl that vomited Beachbody all over me, sent me a friend request on Facebook. And so I just accepted it. And I just began watching her. Something in there clicked, I guess, subconsciously. I don't know why I continued to follow her, but I did. So fast forward about a little over a year. I am about 6 months pregnant with my daughter. And I feel like I'm starting to lose myself in this mommy role, right? I'm sure some of you may have experienced this. I had adult interaction at play dates and stuff, but all we ever talked about was diapers and spit up. And, I wanted more. I wanted, more meaningful adult relationships. I wanted to talk about health and fitness with people. I wanted to be involved with like-minded people. So I started talking to my husband about getting yoga certified or bar certified, just to teach like 2 classes a week, just to get back into the industry. And we were brainstorming about how we were going to make this work, just for my sanity. And then something Jessie posted, I can't even tell you what it was. Something she posted online caught my attention. And I said, "You know what? I'm going to look more. There's got to be more to this Beachbody thing." I had used Beachbody products in the past. I used P90X to get ready for our wedding, but there was no coaching network at that point. It was literally direct sales. You bought it from the company, they sent it to you, and that was it. There was no support. There was no Shakeology. There was no incentives that they have now for completing programs. There was none of that. So I'd used P90X. I'd used, Brazil butt lift in this challenge group, and I loved it. I had actually used Shaina Extreme after my son was born, and I loved it. But again, I didn't have a coach there. I wasn't plugged into the network and the family that Beachbody has. So I reached out to Jessie again, and I said, I have some questions. So she got on the phone with me, and we talked about stuff, and probably over a 3-week period, she answered 1.5 million questions that I had. And the more I got to know about the opportunity, I just found that it was something I couldn't say no to. The only problem was at the time we were a single income family. I literally could not afford a bag of Shakeology. I couldn't afford to buy my PIO challenge pack because that's what I wanted to use to get back in shape after my daughter was born. I was, about 37, 38 weeks pregnant at this point. I wanted to use PIO. It's a mix between Pilates and yoga. So I thought it would be a great idea to use that to get my core back in shape before I started lifting again. And I really wanted it. And it was $140. And my husband's like, "You are crazy." And so I said, "Okay, look, there's this coaching opportunity that goes along with me getting PIO. Like, it doesn't cost me anything to sign up as a coach. I'm going to get PIO anyway to get back in shape. Let me try this coaching thing for 3 months. If it's putting us in the red, I'll quit. I'll walk away. We'll pretend I never did it. Well, 17 months later, I'm still here with one of the top performing teams in the network. So obviously something clicked and it's working. And so that's why I got into it. And it's become so much more for our family than I ever envisioned that it would be. And honestly, at the beginning, I knew the potential that it had because I saw Jessie, who's making ridiculous amount of money right now. She's only been a coach for 4 years. But, I saw her and I looked at myself, who was at ground zero, and I said, I have no idea how I'm getting from point A to point B, but I'm going to do it. And so we're working on it. We're on our way for sure. But what it really boiled down to was that, she's a great mentor. She's got systems in place for her team. And she said, look, I just need you to follow the training and to do what I tell you to do. I'm going to tell you exactly how I built my business, and you just have to put your own Shaina flavor on it, take it, run with it, do the same thing for your team. And I promise you, it will happen. It's just time and consistency. That's the only difference, between new coaches and successful coaches is time. And so I said, okay, I'll do it. And I've been doing it. And she was a phenomenal mentor. She no longer vomits Beachbody on people when they ask her questions, and she does a much better job at explaining it. So here I am. And here you guys are asking questions about it. So hopefully I don't vomit too much. Okay, so what is a coach? What does it mean to be a Beachbody coach? So first I want to tell you, a Beachbody coach is not someone that is in perfect shape. Like I said, I'm 13 weeks pregnant, you guys. I'm not walking across the stage for any figure competitions anytime soon. A Beachbody coach does not have to be a doctor, a registered dietitian, a personal trainer, anything like that. You don't have to be at your goal weight. A Beachbody coach is somebody that inspires other people by sharing their own journey. And you're there to hold people accountable to the goals that they've set for themselves. We have these tools to offer people, all of these Beachbody programs, P90X, Insanity, 21-Day Fix is huge right now. Master's Hammer and Chisel that just came out that I'm absolutely loving. Shakeology to help them completely turn their nutrition around. We have these tools to give them, but you guys, before the coaching network even existed, those products were selling themselves. They didn't need coaches to sell them. What they needed coaches to do was to hold people accountable, help motivate them, and share your own journey is what we're all doing essentially. What you guys have seen on my Facebook page or, the page of the coach that invited you here. You guys see what I post it's just my life. You guys see pictures of my kids, you see pictures of what I'm eating, you see little snippets of my workouts a couple of times a week. But that's all I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I'm doing and what's working for me in the hopes that another mom out there is going to come across my page and go, holy crap, she's got 2 monkeys climbing all over her. She's pregnant. Her husband's nowhere to be found. And she can still work out. Like, I can find time to do this. That is my job as a coach, is to hopefully have somebody else have those thoughts. So that is our job. When someone reaches out to me for help, and they say, I need help. I'm, here's what I'm struggling with right now. We just have a conversation. I'm like, okay, well, what have you tried in the past? What kind of exercise do you enjoy? Where are you struggling when it comes to nutrition? And we figure out, out of this toolbox that I have of all of these things that Beachbody offers, what's the best fit for them. Once we figure that out, they join our challenge groups that our team runs monthly. And what those are private groups on Facebook. And I have one starting next Monday. It's just a place where people can check in every day and share what they're struggling with and how awesome their workout was today and how they feel like they kicked ass with their nutrition. And, but some days are not always great and some days are hard. And it's a place for people to come share that, because a lot of times in the very beginning, people are like, I'm not posting a sweaty workout selfie on my personal Facebook page. But this group is a secure, private place for people to do that and to be plugged in with like-minded people who are going to support and motivate them to finish out that round of 21-day fix, or those first 30 days of P90X, or whatever it's going to be. Now, as a brand new coach, you do not have to run your own challenge groups. That is part of your new coach training on our team, is that I open my challenge groups to the entire downline. So anybody that is anywhere on my team that's been a coach for less than 90 days is more than welcome to use my challenge groups to invite people to join them. And then you can, the first time, if you just want to participate as a challenger to kind of watch and see how things go and what people do, that's totally fine. And then maybe the next month you say to me, hey, Shaina, I kind of want to take on some of the coach reins. Is it okay if I take care of like the motivational posts first thing in the morning? I'm like, heck yeah, go for it, girl. Different things like that. Cause there'll be different days that I like to post different things, like maybe motivational thing first thing in the morning. And, at some point during the week, I like to post little tidbits about Shakeology so people really know what they're getting. It's not just a protein shake. And a lot of people think that. And so I want them to know the benefits that they're truly getting by incorporating that into their nutrition. So I do share that on a regular basis throughout my challenge groups. Everybody runs their challenge groups a little bit differently. But Beachbody does provide you with a little security blanket, if you will. They'll give you a script to use as like a jumping off point. If maybe it's your first challenge group you're running on your own, or you're pairing up with another coach to run a challenge group together, they'll give you literally something that you can copy and paste into your challenge group each day. There are little videos, little Shakeology tidbits, little exercise tidbits. And you can use it or not. Even sometimes I still go in there and I'm like, oh, I need a good idea for today. And I might pull from a challenge group guide. And they're all catered to the specific programs. But I go through all of them and I just kind of pick and choose what I want. So you don't have to be, like I said, a personal trainer with all of this fitness and exercise knowledge to be running challenge groups. You're there to just check in with your group and say, like, hey, I didn't want to get out of bed this morning, but my workout's done. How was yours? How are you guys feeling? And, just getting people to participate in the dialogue. That is seriously all we do as coaches. It's so simple and it's so fun. And it's become like this little fit fam, that we have. And so many of these people, like Melissa is on this call and she's one of my coaches. I've never met that girl in person. She's in Maryland. She came across my Babies and Barbells page and we started getting into conversation, and if she lived down the street, I'd probably have lunch with her all the time. But you get to connect with these people that are like-minded and that you have something in common with. And it's just this whole other family that I wouldn't have if I wasn't a Beachbody coach. Okay. So, and there's different kinds of coaches on our team. Some people can, if people want to buy a challenge pack from you, if they want to buy their workout and their Shakeology to join your challenge group, they can actually sign up as a coach for no extra money just to get a discount on their Shakeology. Coaches get 25% discount on any products from Beachbody. And so a lot of times a customer will sign up as a coach just to get that 25% discount, because even with your monthly $16 like website fee or whatever, you're still saving money if you continue to order Shakeology every month, and they can cancel it whenever they want. So that's what we refer to as a discount coach. And most of my clients are that. And then there's a hobby coach. Some people like to dabble in inviting people to challenge groups just to make enough money to help pay for their Shakeology, or maybe, have a little bit of extra shopping money. Because I know if you're anything like me as a mom, you feel guilty when you buy anything other than stuff for your kids, right? So you don't have to feel guilty about going to get a manicure or going out to lunch with the girls because you have that little mom stash, if you will. And then there's a business builder, which is what I am, which is what Melissa is. We've got big dreams, big goals. We want to, Melissa wants to supplement her income to start cutting back on her hours at work and eventually be able to stay home with her girls. I do, I was already staying at home with my son, but, I've been able to build my income to the point so far where, we're no longer stressed financially. We were just able to buy our first house. I'm able to take the kids for an impromptu trip to San Diego next weekend for their best friend's birthday party. We just moved to Washington, and I'm freezing and I miss my friends and my kids miss their friends. And so just last night, I decided, you know what, we're going to go to that birthday party. And I just bought tickets and it's no big deal. So those are the kind of things that Beachbody is doing for us. But it's just the beginning. I have dreams of, living on my husband's salary to pay the bills, but using my income to, finish renovating our house and to save for the kids' college and, do awesome, awesome things that so many people are stressed about every day. And, just to have that freedom to not worry about stuff like that. Okay, so how do we make money? Super important question, right? We're talking about money. You get 25 to 30% retail commission on anything a customer buys from you. And then if a coach were to join your team, if they purchase a challenge pack, you don't get commission off of coaches. You might get like a bonus. But if they continue to order Shakeology, you actually no longer get commission on coaches' orders of Shakeology or coaches' orders of workout programs or whatever. If someone joins your team as a coach, anything they order contributes to what's called your team volume. And as your team volume grows, you start to earn what's called team cycle bonus. And this is where sometimes it can get a little confusing and it starts to sound like a pyramid scheme. It's not, I promise you. Because so like say Melissa is in my downline, and she's contributing to my team volume. Yes, I am earning team cycle bonus off of what she and her coaches are doing, but it is not coming out of their pocket. Beachbody, the way they set up their business plan is they kind of look at my team and they say, gosh, you're doing such a great job mentoring your team into growing their businesses. We're going to add to your paycheck. We're not taking it out of their pockets. It's not coming out of their commission pot or their team cycle bonus pot, but we're going to add to your paycheck just for being a team leader. So that's really cool. And over time, that team cycle bonus is going to be the largest part of your paycheck. Once you start to, climb up, there are different ranks of coaches. So when you're a brand new coach, you're a coach. And then the first rank you can attain is Emerald Coach. And my goal is to help you guys get there within the first 14 days of you being a coach. And that enables you to start earning that team cycle bonus, as well as free customer leads from the company. If you're an Emerald Coach, they will give you free customers because people do still just go to beachbody.com and order products, or they'll order straight from the infomercials. They don't have a coach that they ordered through, and so they will get assigned a coach. And if you are an Emerald, that could be you. So that $16 that you pay as a coach every month goes toward website maintenance and also advertising for the infomercials that we do. But you can obviously see where that would absolutely pay for itself. I have gotten, it's only the 19th of the month, and I've gotten 8 customer leads so far already. And so you are going to earn, you're going to earn commission off of their purchases, which is awesome because that's not something that you even needed to work on. You know what, guys? I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my account really quick so we don't get kicked off in 5 minutes. Sorry, let me just do this really quick. Sorry. Okay. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, we're good. Sorry about that. Okay, so team cycle bonus, customer leads. Once you become what's called a Ruby coach, which is the next one after Emerald, you start earning what's called a matching bonus. And that is all of your coaches on your team that are earning team cycle bonus, the company will match all of that, add it up 10% and add it to your paycheck. Again, not coming out of anyone's pocket except for Beachbodies. It takes nothing away from your coaches, but they're going to add 10% to your paycheck, which is awesome. There are various star diamond bonus pools once you get past diamond and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star, whatever, all the way up to 15-star, which is the highest you can go. And what that means is once you get to the rank of diamond, that's as far as you can get by yourself, by having a certain number of coaches on your team. In order to get stars on your diamond, you have to mentor your coaches on your team. You have to help them reach their business goals. And so each coach on your team that reaches diamonds gets you a star. So like if you're a 5-star diamond, you have 5 coaches on your team that have been able to at least reach the rank of diamond, if not higher. I know that's a little bit confusing, and the compensation plan can be a little bit confusing. There are a lot of moving parts to it, but that's something I would definitely go into more detail with you on our new coach training. It's called a Getting Started Right call. We'll hop on the phone within like the first week that you're a coach and go over a lot more of this stuff. And then, so next, a lot of people say, okay, well, so training, I have no idea how to be a coach. How am I going to get started? Our team runs a new coach training group once a month. It's the first Monday of every month. So the next one will start on February 1st, which is perfect timing for you guys, to get all your questions answered. And then if you decide you want to join the team, we would have time to do your new coach Getting Started Right call, get you into a challenge group so you can be plugged into the Fit Fam, and see how things are run, and then hop into the new coach training group. That first training group is 30 days long, and it's just going to give you guys the foundation, like the basics of how to run your business, how to start inviting people, how we go about posting on social media. My business has been built 100% on social media. Very, very few of my friends and family are involved with my business. Over time, they've seen me posting on Facebook, and eventually started asking questions, but very few of them were around in the beginning. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, baby brain. New coach training. Okay. So that first one is 30 days. So like I said before, my goal is to help you guys get to Emerald as fast as possible, hopefully within the first 14 days. But if not, definitely by the end of that first 30-day training group. I just had a girl hit Emerald in her first 5 days. So I promise you guys it's not hard. And then I would love to help all of you get to Diamond within the first 60 days. So that's going to, enable, that gives you this skeleton of a team to start mentoring. And I know that sounds incredibly scary when right now you're like, Shaina, I don't even know how to be a coach. How am I going to mentor other people? So that's my job as the leader of this team, to help you guys do that. I run these training groups, not just for my personally sponsored coaches, but all of my downline. So if there are new coaches that already have coaches on their team and they're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, how do I teach people? That's okay. Come into my training group. I help you guys get started doing that stuff. And the cool thing is that when somebody joins your team, well, you already know more than they do. So just showing them what you know, and then, they're learning more along the way with you. And then after that, I have diamond training groups. And then there are, Star Diamond mastermind groups, and eventually you would get a mentor from corporate, and that's way down the road, and I'm making your head spin already. But I just want you guys to know the whole point of that is that you are not in this alone. You're never in this alone. We have an amazing team. We have a team page on Facebook. We always have trainings going on in there. It's a great resource. There are tons of knowledgeable coaches in there that can answer your questions at any time. I'm always available, obviously, and all that stuff. So there are lots of other fun things about the company and incentives. I'm sure you guys have seen me posting about our cruise we're going on in 8 weeks and our trip to the Dominican Republic that we're going on next year. But those are things that you guys can absolutely earn just by doing your job. Our goal for new coaches when they first start is to help 3 new people a month. That's it. It's nothing crazy. It's not like you have to sell 20 challenge packs or anything like that, but it's just sharing your journey and asking, having 3 people join you in the challenge group. Now, if you ask 3 people, you may not necessarily get 3 people to join you in the challenge group. So, that comes with inviting and talking to people and sharing what you're doing. And hopefully you do get 3 to join you. And if you do that, you hit what's called Success Club. And that's just an incentive that they have. There's monthly prizes for it. And that's how you end up earning your trip. And we can talk more about that if that's something that you're interested in learning about. I don't want to vomit too much on you guys. But there are tons of, incentives and trainings and resources. And, this is not something that you guys ever have to figure out on your own. I am so against coaches that sign people up on their team and then say, awesome, have fun. I think that's ridiculous. That defeats the whole purpose of this business. My job as the founder of Team Ignite is to mentor my coaches. If I want to be a 15-star diamond, I can't get there by helping without helping 15 of my coaches get themselves at least to diamond and then start mentoring their own team. So it does me no good to have a coach join my team and then not help them. So that's kind of how all that ties in together. I've hit all of my talking points. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you guys and let you ask questions. I know I went over a lot and your head is probably like, woo. But go ahead and ask away if you have any right now.
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
You mentioned, this is Sandra. You mentioned earlier that initially when you were approached, you said that you did your own shakes and everything, and that you were skeptical about, what was it that made you realize that Shakeology was equal to what you were doing?
A lot of research. And it definitely wasn't equal. We save money now, honestly. Shakeology replaces my multivitamin and my husband's. I don't take a prenatal. I'm pregnant. I've been drinking it since I was 39 weeks pregnant, and I never took a prenatal when I was breastfeeding either. It was totally okayed by my midwife because it would actually be too much nutrients. And so I just supplement with folate and DHA when I am pregnant. And just a little bit of iron when I'm breastfeeding. But so we save money there. I don't know if you've ever been to Whole Foods and purchased the entire superfoods aisle, but a bag of goji berries is like $20. Yeah. And so, if you're buying goji berries and raw cacao powder and, a $60 tub of protein powder and, it adds up so fast. And my husband and I were each making a smoothie every day, plus, the greens you throw in there and like the organic produce adds up. And then my son started drinking smoothies every day and I was like, holy cow, like our grocery budget is outrageous. And so when I started doing research on Shakeology, honestly, at that point, I was looking for a meal replacement shake for the convenience factor because I knew number 2 was coming. And I was like, I don't have time for this. It's taken me 15 minutes to make my shake in the morning. I've got to cut corners somewhere, and so I was trying to figure out how I could make my routine easier, but still stay on top of my nutrition and all that good stuff. And so I researched the heck out of meal replacement shakes on the market. And then that's kind of what got me into drinking Shakeology. It's got over 70 superfoods in it. So half of the stuff that's in there, you can't even buy in the store. I no longer take probiotics. I no longer, like I said, have to buy a protein powder. I no longer have to buy vitamins. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Sure.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. So kind of thinking back, I know like a few years ago, and I can't remember the specific company name, but a family friend had gone into kind of the sales of a product. So we were just discussing, it was kind of one of those where the more people you bring in, the less you have to pay for your kit yourself.
Okay.
Type. And so just talking with family and friends and everything, it was kind of hard to wrap your head around the concept of they're trying to get us to participate in something that they haven't even participated in themselves. So how do you combat that for somebody who, like myself, who has no experience with Beachbody, the Shakeology, if I'm trying to motivate people to participate with me, but yet I don't really have a lot of experience to tell about.
Sure. So when I signed up as a coach, like I said, I was 39 weeks pregnant. I ordered my PIO challenge pack because I knew that's what I was going to use to get back in shape after she was born. And so when I got my challenge pack in the mail, I literally took a picture of it. I posted it on Facebook and I was like, all right, you guys, game on. As soon as I get the green light from my doctor at my 3-week checkup, I'm starting this. Who wants to do it with me? And I literally had 10 other moms that I was randomly friends with on Facebook. I mean, these were people that I hadn't talked to in forever, people from high school, like whatever. I had 10 moms say like, I'll do that with you. And that was my first challenge group. That was it. It was not let me coach you, but I need accountability partners. Like who's going to do this with me and like hold me accountable, make sure I'm doing it every day. And so that was my first challenge group. And that was 60 days long. The PIO program is 60 days. And so along the way, I was sharing my journey, sharing what I was doing, sharing little videos of workouts, whatever. And it was so out of my comfort zone because I totally still had a baby jelly belly, but I would share progress photos along the way. And my PIO photos were unreal. I was shocked. I couldn't believe how well it was working. And so when I stepped out of my comfort zone and posted it on Facebook, the floodgates just kind of opened. Because at that point, you do have experience, even if it's only 30 days in, which was when the first time that I posted my photos. And I told people too, I said, look, even as a certified trainer who kind of, knew what she was doing, after my son, it took me a year to lose all the baby weight and to really get back to where I felt like I had my body back and I was ready to take on gaining weight with another pregnancy. But, because it's hard to find that sweet spot, especially if you're breastfeeding, to maintain being able to nurse a baby and lose weight. We're all freaked out and I'm like, oh, I'm breastfeeding. I can eat whatever I want. No, you can't. So it was hard for me to find that sweet spot. And then once I did PIO and then I did the 21-day fix right afterward, I lost the baby weight after Riley in 3 months. And I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. And the only difference was I was following the meal plan that went with the 21-day fix and I was drinking Shakeology. That was it. And I was able to, I nursed her until just like a month ago. And so I was, that was no problem because there are adjustments that can be made if you're pregnant or nursing. Like I'm still using the 21-day fix while I'm pregnant to ensure that I'm getting enough food and enough, fruits and veggies and all that stuff. So it doesn't have to be, let me sell you something that I don't have any idea about. It's who wants to do this with me? Who wants to join me on this new journey I'm taking on to get in better shape for my kids? And there are a lot of moms that want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Melissa, do you have any questions?
Nope. I'm good.
Okay, good.
What time is it out there?
It's 7:11. Not 9:11.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you guys don't have any questions, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope that wasn't...
Question?
Yeah.
If, for example, some of the people that I invited to tonight's topic or tonight's conversation are not moms,
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe even just single or whatever, how would you, I guess not sell, but talk to them about coaching? Is there any different way you'd approach them or tell them about coaching other than, it's great for us as far as our whys and et cetera, but like, what would you say to them?
Yeah. Are you talking about your CrossFit coach?
Yes. I don't know if he's on it.
How did I know? Well, honestly, okay, so personal fitness professionals in general, obviously I said before, you know, you don't have to be a fitness professional to be a Beachbody coach, but fitness professionals should be Beachbody coaches because it allows them to expand their network to, you know, not just their CrossFit studio or their yoga studio, you know, like Emily has, but their entire, you know, they can touch people all over the country. You know, there are only so many hours in the day to teach yoga or to do personal training sessions. But this allows them to broaden their network, but they're already a resource for that kind of stuff. They already have that credibility. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, everybody in the CrossFit studio, they harp on nutrition. I mean, it would be fantastic for him to be able to talk about Shakeology to everybody that comes in his studio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. A lot of gym owners become coaches, and then their personal training team under them becomes coaches, and then they're able to offer Shakeology to their personal training clients as a nutrition solution, because so many personal trainers in the gym just like want to slap their head against the wall because they spend all this time with their clients in the gym and then they go home and ruin it in the kitchen, because we all know that's 80% of the battle. You know, you got to get a handle on your nutrition first, which is why Shakeology has been such a game changer for people. Yeah. But everybody has to find their own brand too. I mean, it's, you know, easy for me to talk about moms and fitting in, feeding a healthy family and getting workouts in, even when your kids aren't napping, and, you know, running a business in between, you know, A through Z.
My dad would come home with a briefcase with paperwork.
Yeah, absolutely. And there are a lot of coaches, a lot of successful coaches, actually, you know, that was their why in the beginning. They, you know, they're like, I like my job, but now that I have a family, like I kind of like my family better. I would rather not necessarily quit, because, you know, a lot of women find fulfillment at the office. But at least be able to have a little bit more flexibility in their schedule. And so having a supplemental income enabled them to do that and to have that freedom to have a little bit more time with their families. So yeah, there are tons of stories from super successful coaches that have been able to do that.
So there's a girl, only signed up 5 coaches. One of them is true core CrossFit trainer.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah.
I'll tell you in a second.
All right, ladies. Well, I guess we will wrap this up if there are no more questions. Obviously, if you guys want to chat a little bit more offline, feel free to email me or message me through Facebook, or the coach that invited you here, obviously. Yeah, we can go from there.
Yeah. And
thanks, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.
Bye.